طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمد عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. بإذن الله تعالى we continue inshallah ta'ala within our study and from our readings the chapter of Hajj and the rulings that are relating to the pilgrimage of Hajj. Walillah alhamd. And at this time, walillah alhamd, we are reading from Bulugh al-Maram min Adillat al-Ahkam by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, on his soul. Al-Bariha, which was yesterday, we went through the issue of hunting when a person is in the state of ihram. And we mentioned the hadith of Abi Qatadah al-Ansari, and from there we deducted many rulings. From there we said he was traveling with a group of companions from Medina when they passed the checkpoint, Dhul Hulayfa, and as they passed the checkpoint, he spotted a himar of himar. Himar is a donkey. We said Arabic, there's himar al-wahshi, is, I would say, a vicious or a dangerous donkey. And when we translate it into English, it is a zebra. And then we said himar al-ahli is the donkey. It's a normal donkey that you get. So we said Qatada al-Ansari, who was from the companions of the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, zebra. And he asked one of the companions to assist him and give him the spears whilst he got onto his riding beast. And this companion refused to give the spear, and he grabbed his spear and then he killed the animal, and then he prepared the animal as a meal for the companions who were on Hajj. And before the companions to have the meal, and they said, the messenger said, Hal minkum ahadun amarahu. The messenger said to these people, did any of you people command him to do that what he hunt? The companion says, or the messenger said, أو أشار إليه بشيء, or maybe pointed out the animal. La, this companion said, La, they didn't do that. Then the messenger alayhi salatu wasalam said, فَقُولُوا مِمَّا بَكِيَ مِنْ لَحْمِهِ. The messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, in Bukhari and also in the Sahih of Imam Muslim, he said, then eat from what is there of the meat. I mean, have that meal. And then we went into the next narration, which was also the opposite of what Qatada al-Ansari was. It was Jathama al-Laythi, where he said he offered the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam meat that came from hunting. And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam radduhu, he returned that meat. He refused to take that meat. And then from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, other narrations, he acknowledged that Jathama al-Laythi was said, Inna lam naraddu alayk. He said, indeed, I did not refuse alayk illa, and he says, I did not refuse. The reason why I refuse eating your meal is because I'm in the state of ihram. I'm in a state of ihram. So we said the first narration, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed the companions to have the meal from the hunting meat whilst in the state of ihram because they had nothing to know anything about it. Of Jatham al-Laythi, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam refused it. He refused to eat the meat, the meat or in a state of al-ihram. So we said, to reconcile both of this hadith, we said, don't eat that because it's not from it's from the rulings against ihram that the person eats from edibles that is from hunting food now, because it's against the rules of al-ihram now. And from the things also we spoke about yesterday was the issue of nikah. Forbidden that people should engage in nikah, and also people should engage in conducting the nikah. And we said people also should stay away from conducting the nikah or engaging in the nikah or seeking out a nikah whilst in the state of ihram. And we spoke of the issue between Maymuna wa hakadha, and we also sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we said we're going to start the famous hadith of Jabir bin Abdullah. Inshallah, if Allah permits us, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, what we prepare, if we're going to start it, inshallah. But we'll start some of it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This hadith of Jabir bin Abdullah is known to be a hadith that is famous when it comes basically describing the Hajj of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. The author of this book, in Hajar al-Asqalani, he chapters his book, he says, Babu Sifat al-Hajj wa Dukhul al-Makkah. Remember yesterday we spoke of the virtues of Medina. We spoke about some issues that are specific to Medina. So similarly here, he says, Babu Sifatul Hajj wa Dukhul al-Makkah. He says the nature of the Hajj of Makkah, or the entering of Makkah. So this hadith is specific to Jabir bin Abdullah. Jabir bin Abdullah is from the family of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is known to be from the family of the Messenger. Imam Ta'ala, may Allah have mercy on his soul, he said, هذا الحديث عظيم مشتمل. He said this hadith indeed, it is a great hadith. Mushtamil. It's a concise, it carries a lot of rulings. على الجمل الفوائد. It carries of benefits. And then also he mentions in his Tiyani, he says, Al-Qadi Iyad, he said Al-Qadi Iyad was from the Al-Qadi Iyad said وَسَنَّفَ أَبُو بَكْر ibn Mundar. He said that Abu Bakr ibn Mundar, he wrote many benefits when he comes أخرج أكثر من 150 فوائد. He said Abu Bakr ibn Mundar, he explained about 150 benefits just from this narration. And this narration is from the Ahadeeth that Imam Muslim narrated in his Sahih, that Bukhari did not bring in his Sahih. So it's from the narrations of where they said Muslim munfarid, he singled out, meaning he's the only one who narrated over al-Bukhari. I mean, it's not in Bukhari, but rather it's in the Sahih of Imam Muslim. Now the story in relation to this hadith, taqdeem, muqaddimah, the introduction to the hadith, which is not mentioned in this chapter here, in this book here, because Imam Muslim brought this hadith in its length. He brought the whole hadith, and this hadith is quite long. As we said, it is from the detailed explanation of the Hajj of the Messenger alayhi as-salatu wassalam. So Muslim, he narrated this from his teachers, which was Ishaq ibn Rawiya and Ibn Abi Shaybah. Ishaq ibn Rawiya was a colleague of Imam Ahmed bin Hanbal. He was one of the teachers of Imam Muslim, who both narrated it from Hatim ibn Ismailiyo. Now, and then from the Jafar bin Abdullah, Jafar ibn Muhammad, and Muhammad bin Ali said, I entered. Ali said, I entered. Dakhaltu ala Jabir. He entered upon Jabir bin Abdullah. So Jafar said, he entered upon Jabir ibn Abdullah. Jafar ibn Muhammad, he said, I entered upon Jabir bin Abdullah. And he said, who is with me? He said, Jabir bin Abdullah said to Jafar, who is with me? Because remember, Jabir bin Abdullah, the narrator of this hadith, was a blind man. He was blind at that time. And then from there, people began to mention their names and say who is with him in the room, وَهَكَذَا. حَتَّى أَتَى إِلَيَّ. And then he came to me, then I explained, who's this saying this? Jafar says that until it came to my turn, and I explained who I am. I explained who I am to Jabir. Now, because Jabir was blind at that time. Now, and Jabir was an old man at that time. Then he said, is Muhammad. He said, I am Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Hussein. He said, I am Muhammad ibn Ali al Hussein. Then Jabir was an old man at that time. He placed his hand on the head of Muhammad ibn Ali al Hussein. And he said, and then Muhammad ibn Ali ibn Hussein, he said, وَأَنَا يَوْمَئِذٍ غُلَامٌ. He said, on that particular day, in that particular time, I was young, I was a youth, I was very young. And then Jabir bin Abdullah, he said, مَرْحَبًا بِكَ يَا ibn akhi. He said, welcome, O my nephew. He said, welcome, O my nephew. So basically what the scholars say, you can take in this hadith this far, is that look at Jabir ibn Abdullah. And Jabir, he's at a very old age. He's very old, and Jabir ibn Abdullah was known to be knowledgeable. He had knowledge. And then he welcomes the youth. He welcomes him in, he makes him feel comfortable. And what the scholars they say, it's the importance of a person giving attention to the youth. That's what you can take from this hadith, number one. Point number one, you can take that it's important. You give them attention. You give the youth attention. Now, and because Jabir was a very highly respected man, so he welcomed him and he made him feel comfortable. Now, and this is also the benefits as a teacher, and it also benefits that as a teacher you should be approachable by your students. The students shouldn't be scared to approach you, especially the young students. They should be happy to work with you or reason with you now. So he welcomed him and made him feel comfortable. He made him feel comfortable. And also this also showed, what does it show as well? It showed that the messenger's family used to seek knowledge. This hadith also shows this. It shows this. It indicates that the Prophet ﷺ's family also sought knowledge. And also it tells us the concept of lineage does not take you to Jannah. The concept of lineage does not take you to Jannah. Meaning you work for the Jannah. You work for the Jannah. It all goes back to one's iman and one's striving to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's proven in the history of Islam, the likes of Abu Lahab, the likes of the uncles of the Prophet ﷺ, who were from the Prophet's family, and they did not matter, and they are not from the people of Jannah. They are not from the people of Jannah. So anyone whose lineage delays them, as the author, the hadith that comes in Arba'un an-Nawawi said, anyone whose lineage delays them, if their actions, it means that their background won't push them forward. Their lineage won't put them into the Jannah. So then from there, returning back to the hadith within itself, then the young man said, it was حضر وقت الصلاة. He said, as I was about to ask Jabir bin Abdullah, Salah time came upon us. The prayer of Salah came upon us. Then حضر وقت الصلاة. The Salah time came and Jabir read the prayer. And then after the Salah, he said to Jabir, who was the narrator of this hadith, he said to him, أخبرني عن الحج رسول الله. The young man said to Jabir, he said, tell me of the Hajj of the Messenger alayhi as-salatu was-salam. Now, so basically in summary, inshallah ta'ala, before we take the hadith, because the hadith is quite lengthy as I said, just in summary, just to get everything out of the way where people understand Hajj from outside the hadith, then when you go to the hadith, it makes proper sense being in light ta'ala. As it comes to hadith, as it comes to Hajj now, whatever we mentioned thus far, inshallah ta'ala, prior to what we mentioned, will be beneficial for us today, being in light ta'ala. People should know when it comes to Hajj, there are wajibat, there are obligations of Hajj. There are also arkan in Hajj. There are also pillars of Hajj. And there are also sunan of Hajj. So there's three categories. I placed it in three categories, which is the obligations of Hajj, the pillars of Hajj, and the sunan of Hajj. So now do we understand these things? A pillar, if you don't come with a pillar in anything, that means your action is null and void. When it comes to rukun, if you don't come with a rukun, pillar, that means your action is null and void. When it comes to a wajib, which is an obligation, the second point is that if you don't come with a wajib, your action can still be sound, but you're going to have a penalty. Meaning you have to come with something. Penalty can take its position. That's when it comes to the wajib, an obligation. And when it comes to the sunnah of Hajj, generally most of them are voluntary. If it's missed, la bas. So the most important thing is what? Is your pillars, your arkan. Second important is your wajibat, your obligation, and then the sunnah. But if a person can come on all of them, walillahi alhamd, you are safe in bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. You may fall into the people whose Hajj al-Mabrur, as we mentioned in the second or third or the first lesson. So we shall speak about the pillars, speak about the sunnah, and we'll speak about the wajibat, which is the obligations of Hajj. Inshallah, we'll start with the sunnah because they're the most, inshallah. When it comes to the sunnah, inshallah, this will give you a picture of Hajj in general, inshallah, before the hadith itself. When it comes to the sunnah of Hajj, we start with obviously ihram. From the sunnah of al-ihram is to make the ghusl. Meaning before a person puts on the ihram, they make ghusl with the intention, obviously. And the evidence of that is the hadith of Zayd ibn Thabit. He says, أن خرج زيد بن ثابت عن أبيه أنه رأى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تجرد لأهلها واغتسل. He said that the Zayd bin Thabit, he saw the Messenger عليه الصلاة والسلام. As he was about to wear his ihram, he removed his clothes and he took the ritual bath, the ghusl, and showered now. So that's the first sunnah of your issue of Hajj. Number two is before you place the ihram, we mentioned this before, as I said, this will just be like a revision of what we've been saying in a couple of days. Now, is one to place perfume before they put the ihram. He said that this is specifically, and it's more encouraged for the men. For the woman, maybe they can stick to the deodorant and these things that they're not obvious. We know the rule is when it comes to the woman and the perfume. We know what the sunnah informs us of that now. So he says that, as we know, the evidence for this hadith of Aisha al-Mu'min, she said, "Kuntu utib Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam." I used to put perfume, I used to have the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam wearing perfume before he applies or before he puts on the ihram. So this is on the person's body, a person can do it. That is the second sunnah that a person comes with. And the third sunnah is to wear the upper garment and the lower garment in the color of white. This is for the man. He said this is wearing white, ihram. As we know the hadith of Ibn Abbas, when the Messenger ﷺ said, "Ilbisu min thiyabikum al-bayda, فإنها من خير ثيابكم." The Messenger ﷺ told Ibn Abbas, he said, wear the white garments. Wear from your garments white, because it's from the best of clothing. وَكَفِّنُوا فِيهَا مَوْتَاكُمْ. And he said, shroud the dead, the deceased with the white as well. As we said, the ruling for the woman is different. So the woman, she wears whatever she wants to wear, as long as it's not, what they say, revealing and acceptable. You mentioned that now. So this is from the sunnah that a person wears the white and the upper garment and the lower garment is white. Now, that's hadith based on the hadith of Ibn Abbas. And number four is the issue of talbiyah. Raising one's voice is the talbiyah. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Raising one's voice is also from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And also this is also established in the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where he said, قال, the Messenger then said in the hadith of Sahih Muslim, he says, قال أتاني جبريل. Jibril came to me. فأمرني أن أمر أصحابي ومن معي أن يرفعوا أصواتهم بالتلبية أو بالإهلال. He said Jibril came to him and he commanded me to command the people around me and the companions to raise their voices when they do the talbiyah. Now we spoke of the issue of the woman. Also we said hadith Aisha, when the Messenger saw, when Aisha, when she entered Mecca and she informed the Messenger ﷺ that she is in her postnatal bleeding or menses. And the Messenger ﷺ sent Rahman, who is his brother-in-law, the son of Abu Bakr, the sister, the brother of Aisha, Mu'mineen. She sent him with Aisha to a place which is now, I think it's the place called Masjid Aisha in Mecca, where they did the attention from there, and then from there she came out saying the talbiyah around. We mentioned this hadith. It's also in the hadith, it's also in the book of Bulugh al-Maram, also in it's the narration that brings us what is, let's say, a Muslim. When Aisha came and she, no, it's not really in Bulugh al-Maram, I'm mistaken by saying Muslim. Where Aisha came out and she was raising a voice with the tarbiyah. As she was raising her voice with the tarbiyah, the companions then said, Muawiyah said, yeah, they heard a voice and they said, who is that? And it was told to them, it's Aisha. Aisha is the one who's, she's made her intention upon entry of Makkah. And they said that, and then Aisha was informed that the companions were asking, who is that person that is raising her voice in tarbiyah? And she said, had they asked her that, she would say, it's me, Aisha. This is a proof. The scholars say this is the evidence that the woman also raised their voice. And there's no evidence against it. But at least once, that's what it is. At least once for them to raise their voice. As we also know, within the same issue of raising of the voice from the men, the companions, they said, we used to raise our voices until we lost our voices when it comes to the talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. There's also the hadith of Fadl. The brother of Fadl is the brother of Ibn Abbas. Fadl ibn Abbas, who is the cousin of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commanded them to do the talbiyah until the pelting of Al-Qubra. Mean till after the day of An-Nahr. After the Arafah, then An-Nahr, after the first pelting of the Jama'ah. They would keep on saying it. So throughout Hajj, a person says that. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak, labbaik. They make tasbih, they make tamheed. And as Allah told us in Surah Al-Baqarah, they should remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ashadda dhikra. They should remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immense remembrance. Now. And then also, so repeating, and then also, that's point number 5. Point number 6 is repeating the talbiyah. Repeating it constantly. A person's in Mina, a person's in Muzdalifah, a person's in Arafah. They continue the talbiyah. They continue tasbih. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immensely. Ashad dhikra. Nothing else will concern the abd except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever problems people have, they should leave it behind. This is the time for remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing else matters at this time. The Messenger says, Ashad dhikra. أو آباءكم. Now he says, even remember Allah, remember Allah, go into increasing, remember Allah. So from the sunnah of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. That's number 6. So repeating the phrases at-tanheed, praising Allah, at-tahleel, at-tasbih, all of it. And then also from number 7, the sunnah of that is saying the talbiyah whilst facing the qibla. Saying the talbiyah whilst facing the qibla. Because this also established in the sunnah. Nafi was the teacher of Imam Malik. Nafi said he saw Ibn Umar. Ibn Umar Azul, the son of Umar bin Khattab. He saw the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Dhul Hulayfa. What is Dhul Hulayfa? The checkpoint of the people in Medina. And he said that he saw the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam facing the Qibla and doing what? And doing the talbiyah. And that's the evidence. It's from the sunnah to face the Qibla. Being in the areas of Makkah or the sites of Hajj, it's not difficult finding the Qibla because you are next to the Kaaba. And also that's number 7. Now I'm going to number 8. From the sunnah of entering Makkah now is when you enter Makkah again, as you are about to enter Makkah, it's from the sunnah to take a shower again, to take the ghusl, with both men and women. All this is based on the hadith of Ibn Umar, where he from the sunnah is also what has been transmitted also by Ibn Abbas, when the Messenger ﷺ, upon his entrance of Makkah into Dhul Hulayfa, the first checkpoint, and then when he gets to Makkah again, he baths again, he takes a shower again. And also from the sunnah as well is when entering the Kaaba place, Now he would enter with his right hand. He would enter with his right leg. Right now. And some of the sunnah also is that he raised his hands when it comes to, he would make dua. He would make dua. This is from the sunnah now. And then from there we move on to the sunnah of tawaf, which is also part of Hajj. That's if the person is doing Hajj al-Tamattu. So he's doing Umrah. So when he gets to the Kaaba, he makes tawaf, he moves into tawaf. For the men, what is from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is that as he places the upper garment, he shows his right shoulder. That is from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Meaning that this part, this is the right shoulder, should be shown. Some of the scholars dispute it, but inshallah we'll get to that in the hadith of Jabir, inshallah ta'ala. We speak about that now. And then also he'll begin his tawaf by doing what? Touching the black stone. And we know the issue of touching the black stone is something that's not so easy in our times. So there's a discussion also about how a person goes about that. Because this is also based on the hadith of Ibn Umar, where he said, I saw the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam arriving in Mecca and he would touch the black stone. And in the first, remember tawaf is down 7 times around the Kaaba. You walk around 7 times around the Kaaba. In the first 3 rounds, a person hastens. He picks up speed in his walking. That's also from the sunnah. So remember we said for the men, the right shoulder open. They touch the Kaaba, that's where they begin, the black stone, the rukun, the one's corner, and they will go around the Kaaba. They will do it 7 times. The first 3 rounds is done in a speed, in a way, but not really so fast, not also so slow. If a person cannot do that because of maybe sickness or hakada, scholars also like permitted, it's not possible with that. But it's an issue, inshallah, we'll get to when we do the hadith. And this is also based on the hadith of Ibn Umar, where he saw the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam doing all of these things. So that's, I would say, touching the black stone is your sunnah number 9. We said that as it's not, as we will talk about it when we come to that inshallah. It's not a must that people touch the black stone. Many of people who lived in the Mamlaka can tell we didn't touch the black stone. It's not something a person should do because of congestion and hakada if they cannot do that now. But we'll get to that inshallah. Number 10 is the kissing of the black stone. Again, the issue that also can be discussed. And the scholars explain how to go about that now. As we know that this is also taken the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith of Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, أنه جاء إلى حجر. He said Umar bin Khattab, he came to the stone, the black stone, al-Aswad. فَقَبَّلْتُ. Then he said فَقَبَّلَهُ. He kissed him. وقال إني لأعلم أنك حجر. نعم لا تضر ولا تنفع. ولولا أني رأيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقبلك ما قبلتك. Umar bin Khattab said to the black stone, he said that I saw the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kissing you. You cannot benefit, you cannot harm me, no, you can benefit. If I didn't see the Messenger alayhi sallam kissing you, I would have not kissed you. As Umar bin Khattab said. So this is from the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he is doing, he's following who? The Messenger alayhi sallam. And also from the sunnah of the tawaf is to make takbir at the corners. Ibn Abbas, he said, كَانَ يُكَبِّرْ فِي كُلِّ رُكْنٍ. There's a statement of Ibn Abbas where they said the Messenger ﷺ used to say Allahu Akbar at the corners. So starting from the black stone, he would say Allahu Akbar. Some of the narration says the Messenger ﷺ used to pick up his hand and you say Allahu Akbar in the corners. Then you'll see some people pick up both hands. Some people they do this, so some people do a different sign, and it's all not from the Sunnah of the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam. Then we go into as we said, he would move fast. It's also part of the Sunnah. And also from the Sunnah, which is number 13 or 12, according to the numbers, he would touch the Rukun al-Yamani. Which is the Rukun al-Yamani? The Rukun al-Yamani are the 2 corners that are facing Yemen. which is the corner of your black stone, and the corner that's after it. These are the two corners. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would touch, these, you touch the black stone and the Rukn al-Yamani. As also it's established from the Hadith of Ibn Umar عنه رضي الله تعالى عنه قال لم أرى رسول الله. He said, I didn't see the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم يستلم من البيت غير ركنين اليمانيين رواه مسلم. He said, I didn't see the Messenger عليه الصلاة والسلام touch the Kaaba except in two places, which is the Yemeni corner and the two Yemeni corners, which is the black stone in the end of the stone. So also this disputes the issue of where people make it takbir, Allahu Akbar at every corner, but what is known, as you say, we'll explain in detail for the people who are not touching the two corners, at least they are apart, they can lift up their hands, so this is the two main parts that a person does that. According to the Hadith of Ibn Umar, when it comes to the corner, the Yemeni corner of the black stone, and the other corners with people, they can try to touch those corners. It's significant corners the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to touch. As Al-Hajr, Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his Fath al-Bari, he mentions a very important statement here of Imam al-Shafi. And he mentions Imam al-Shafi says, he says, we do not leave the touching of other places of the Kaaba because of the Hajj, because of boycotting the Kaaba. But he says, لَكِنَّنَا نَتَّبِعُ السُنَّةَ فِعْلًا وَتَرْكًا. He says that we do not leave touching the other places of Kaaba because of us boycotting it. We don't have a problem with the Kaaba. But we leave it because why? We follow the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in his fear in what he has done and what he left out as well. Because there's some people that would say you have to do that, you have to do that, you have to touch them. They say that we do what the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam did. So the fact that the Messenger didn't emphasize on touching the other parts of the Kaaba, we don't touch them. We don't touch the parts the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam informed us about. That's why Imam al-Shafi said, لَكِنْ نَتَّبِعُ السُّنَّةَ فِعْلًا وَتَرْكًا. We follow the Sunnah and that which the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam done and that which he left out as well. So also from the Sunnah is to make dua between the two Yemeni sides. The two right, the Yemeni corner is a dua that you make رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. You repeat that in that time. He repeats that in that time. There are other supplications, perhaps in this we will mention as we go on, inshallah. He says, and from the Ahadeeth number, that is the benefit of the Sunnah number 13. Number 14 is you will get, he prays after he's done, remember he's done 7 tawaf now, he prays 2 units next at the Maqam Ibrahim. Obviously now, again, issue is, it's full. So you can, if it's full, the scholars have said you can pray at any place. What do you read in those rakats? First rakat, Qul ya ayyuhal kafir. And the second rakah, Surah Al-Ikhlas. That's after you've done tawaf. From the scholars have mentioned, because also this is something the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did so based on the hadith of Ibn Umar. And also he has mentioned, he said the ayah, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ صَلَّى. That is not something, that is from the evidences of establishing the 2 units of prayer in the Maqam Ibrahim. And number 15, I would say, after you finish that, a person he drinks the Zamzam water. Some of the Sunnah, they said, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he would drink a lot of Zamzam water in that state, after completing the tawaf now. And also some narrations indicate the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to, after he drinks his Zamzam, he used to pour some water on his face. Some of the nations say that, from the Sunnah, to do that. But obviously scholars disputed the issue of, can a person, for example, do that with Zamzam water? Because there's a hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam of Abu Dharr that comes in Sunnah of Imam al-Tirmidhi, where he mentioned that the Zamzam water is food. It's food. And because Abu Dharr, he mentions that with Abi Dharr, he mentioned to the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one of the occasions was in Makkah, and he became very hungry. And he stayed in Mecca for several days, but he lived on drinking Zamzam water. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, indeed it is food, fills you up, there is Zamzam water. Scholars disputed the issue of a person maybe taking a shower or splashing oneself, or that because it's food, and we know that it's against the Sunnah, or it's against the legislation of Islam that a person wastes food now. Right. Then the person, after completing that, the person goes to Safa al-Marwa, still the Sunnah. The person goes to Safa al-Marwa, they start from Safa. And Allah told us in the Quran, Inna Safa wal-Marwa min sha'irillah. Read the verse 158, Surah al-Baqarah. 158, Surah al-Baqarah. You repeat the verse throughout a person's sa'i. The person going from Safa to Marwa, from the Sunnah to do that. And also when a person starts in Safa, it's also advised that the person makes dua towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Facing the Qibla is also known from the Sunnah of Masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Taking your time, you go to Safa, make a dua, go to Marwa, make a dua like that. And then between also there is a green light now, where you have to increase speed, mainly for the men, mostly for the men. And also the significance of that, inshallah ta'ala, we'll discuss when we go to the hadith of the Masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam Hajj. And then after that, if the person is doing tamattu, person shaves his head, then maybe takes out the ihram, he relaxes, then they move on to, they wait for Yawm al-Tarwiyah. Meaning the person can go back to the businesses and accept time those days if they entered Makkah early, then they wait for Yawm al-Tarwiyah. Tell me, when is Yawm al-Tarwiyah? The 8th day of the Hajj. The 8th day of the Hajj, that is the Yawm al-Tarwiyah. And on that day, they take to Mina. They go to Mina. So, and if the person is doing tamattu, meaning that you are already in Makkah, that means you wear the ihram, to Makkah, wherever you are. Tell house, wa'akada, and you make your intention, you take your journey to Mina. So the reason why it's called Yawm al-Tarwiyah is because back in the time of Masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the day where people would have the camels, they would make the camels have water, because when they would go to Muzdalifah and Arafah and Mina, there would not be water. So that's why they call it Yawm al-Tarwiyah. So this day of Yawm al-Tarwiyah, everyone makes it to Mina. As you make it to Mina, you get there in Nahar, maybe Dhuhr time. You pray every salah on its time. Dhuhr, its time. Depending on your time of arrival, of course. Zahma, I mean because traffic and things like that. So you get to Mina, you pray every salah on its time, but you make jamal, you make us short on the prayers where you need to short on the prayers. Dhuhr, because you're traveling, Dhuhr to Asr, to like that. Do not say you're in Hajj, you want all the reward. There's no such thing like that. You are following the Sunnah of the Masjid sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make jamal. Because obviously, discussion obviously that now it comes to this point where this way it comes to fight a lot of the issues, but inshallah, it's not an issue to get involved into it now. So a person, what you do, you pray your Dhuhr, your Asr, your Maghrib, your Isha, and your Fajr. On the 8th, you pray them where? On the 8th, taking you to the 9th. You pray where? In Mina. Then on the 9th, which is the day of Arafah, Yawm al-Arafah. Remember, these days it's important to know that. Yawm al-Nahr, 8th day. Yawm al-Tis'a, which is Yawm al-Arafah. Then you go to, and after the sunrise, after praying the Fajr prayer, after sunrise now, take your journey to Arafah. So basically, let me just mention the days now, so everyone can be together now. So the days of, there are 5 days, and these are days of Hajj. We get Yawm al-Nahr, which is the 8th day. Entering Makkah, going to Mina, Yawm al-Nahr, 8th day. Yawm al-Tasi, the 9th day is Yawm al-Arafah. Yawm al-Arafah is 9th day. It's the most important day. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Hajj Arafah. Hajj is Arafah. most important day of Hajj. And then we have the day after Arafah, which is Yawm al-Qurri, which is the day of Eid, I would say. And then we have Yawm al-Nahr al-Awwal, after the day of Eid, Yawm al-Nahr al-Awwal, and Yawm al-Nahr al-Thani. So we're going to say the Arafah is the 9th, the 10th is Nahr. After Nahr, which is the 11th, is Qurri. Then the 12th, which is Nahr al-Ula. And the 13th, which is Nahr al-Thani. So these are the days of Hajj. We'll mention what does it mean if a person gets to Nahr al-Thani. So a person, he prays Dhuhr, Isha, Dhuhr, Asr, Dhuhr up till Isha, on the day of Nahr, which is the day of Tarwiyah, which is the 8th day. Then on the 9th day in the morning after Fajr, praying also in Mina, he now take a journey to Arafah. Then from the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will pray his Dhuhr in Namira. Some narration says he will pray his Dhuhr and Asr in Namira. So now obviously now discussion comes, is Namira part of Arafah? We'll get there. So Namira now, I think there is a masjid that is there now. It's called Masjid Namira. It is there. I think that's where the khutbah takes place, if I'm not mistaken. Khutbah of Hajj. Now, so that's on the day of Arafah. The most important thing on the day of Arafah is to be in Arafah before sunset. Or else if you get to Arafah, you don't leave. So, sunset. And then also, after that, you spend the day in Arafah. What do you do in Arafah? Dua. Talbiyah. Sabbih Allah. Takbur Allah. Ashadda dhikra. You only busy yourselves with that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with. And for the people of Arafah, they do not fast. Even though we know the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in the hadith of Sahih Muslim, where he said, Siyam yawm wa Arafah yukaffir as-sana al-madhiya. He said the fasting on the day of Arafah, it expiates or it erases the sins of the previous year and the year to come. Now, if I'm not mistaken. So people of Arafah do not fast. People who are out of Arafah, they fast. A lot of people can go into major extremes and they do things that would be difficult on them. And for Arafah, what is known is to sit in a place in Arafah. As long as you're within the boundaries of Arafah, not tie yourself. And then now in times where people have been given air conditioners and things like that, and Hakala, it's easy made, it's easy done for them. So in Arafah, busy yourself. You cannot make, if you cannot do wahka, read Quran. Do something, look for something. Leave everything behind. This opportunity, it's a very golden opportunity for the people in Hajj. Supplicate, ashadda dhikra. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immensely. You look at the ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, look at the tafsir, you will see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes of his remembrance on these days, especially the day of Arafah. Especially the day of Arafah. Especially the day of Arafah. So on that day, after that, they pray, then you make sure after the sun is set, then they go back to Muzdalifah. The Hujjaj now, they go to Muzdalifah. As they arrive in Muzdalifah, they pray Maghrib and Isha Jamna. They join it. But after sunset. And these places are very close to each other, but because of the Zahma, it takes hours to get to these places. Very close to each other, but it takes long to get there. So as soon as you get to Muzdalifah, you pray Maghrib and Isha, the night in Muzdalifah. Then you spend the night in Muzdalifah. Spend the night in Muzdalifah. And your spending of your time in Muzdalifah is that the person, he doesn't do anything, he prays Maghrib, Isha, with them, they sleep. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't do any ibadah, Qiyamul Layl, ma fa'ala that. He didn't do that. Then on the day, now they return after the Subh prayer, from dawn prayer in Muzdalifah. They pray Muzdalifah, they pray the Fajr Salah. Then they go back to Mina. They go back to Mina now. Inshallah, I think my time is right. Inshallah, stop here today. Continue, inshallah, with the Sunnah. Then we go into the Wajibat, which is the obligation, which is easy, which is very short. Then we'll go into the pillars, Arkan. Then inshallah ta'ala we'll take a hadith and read inshallah ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك